I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on the Spotlight Network, we're talking about an action-packed children's book that's both fun and educational. It is called The Adventures of Veggieman, Food Fight, and it's written by a terrific author. Her name is Karla Farach, and she introduces young readers to an epic battle between good and evil, where healthy foods fight back against junk food villains. With an inspiring message about nutrition, choice, and discovering your own superpowers, this book is a must-read for kids and parents alike. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today, and we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. And be sure to download the Spotlight Network TV app streaming on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire TV. Karla, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Hello, Logan. Thank you for having me in your show, your wonderful show. And I love how you describe the book. You do it better than me. You have to do that again.
The Adventures of Veggieman.
I love that.
Okay, I'll be your voiceover when you do a book trailer or something like that, no doubt. Excellent. Well, I think kids would love The Adventures of Veggieman. I think they're enthralled by and enthralled by superheroes. So I think it was a very clever device to try to get kids to listen to your message. Did you always eat healthy? Did your upbringing in the Dominican Republic influence that? Tell us a little bit about your own habits and how you began to eat more healthfully.
Yeah. Growing up in the Dominican Republic, I didn't know I was eating healthy until I moved to the US, to tell you the truth, because here you just eat normal food. You eat at home every day for lunch and dinner, and you're served the food that grows from the earth, and it's just a normal, healthy, wholesome way of eating that you take it for granted until I moved to the US and I really saw the way kids were growing up and the kind of processed foods that they were eating every day. And when I saw that and I had my own children, that's when I said, I appreciated what I was fed when I was growing up. And that's why I decided to write the book.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So yes, I was eating very healthy growing up.
Yeah, well, that's great. You're blessed if you're eating foods that are real food, real bananas, real papaya, whatever it is, real lettuce, as opposed to the stuff that's packaged and lasts forever. I mean, we have convenience foods here in the US and they're very, very bad for people. And I think people are starting to wake up. And I think your book is a wake-up call to children. Talk to the kids, talk to the folks at home a little bit about what they'll find inside the book, a little bit about the story.
So the book, as you said, it's a superhero story, and each superhero, the main superhero is Veggieman, and you know by the name that it's just a few veggies in one man, and then we have other superheroes like Aqua Lady, Mrs. Chickpea, and then Niko. Basically, it's a story that tells kids, it shows kids the daily battle of very bad processed foods against the good foods that they should be eating. And as you read the book, you just, without knowing, children understand that for them to grow healthy, to grow, for their bodies to grow healthy and their brains, they need to consume those foods that are good for them. Yeah. So it's basically a story that tells you choose well for your own good.
Absolutely. Talk to us a little bit about the junk food villains that are in the book.
So the junk food is just those super ultra processed foods that kids like. Unfortunately, they like to eat every day, or just because they're so convenient and easy to grab. Parents, they just allow kids to eat it or drink it anywhere they go. Yeah. And the junk food we have in the book is some pizza, some potato chips that we shouldn't be eating, some of those bad colas, Coca-Cola, Pepsi Cola, or any cola packed with a lot of sugar and like chemicals that we shouldn't be drinking, and we shouldn't be allowing our kids to drink it when they're very small.
Yeah.
And they just drink it because it's easy, and they get
Sure.
they get addicted to it, and then they want to stop to drink. They don't want to drink waters
Yeah.
or fruit waters or
Yeah.
So
Anything that's
it's
super
just
sweet, anything that's super salty, anything that's oily, it's all addictive. It all tastes good. It's just not good for you, right?
and that's the problem of all these big food companies. They spend millions of dollars coming out with products that have been formulated exactly to do that, to create addiction in children and in people, just to keep consuming what they sell, which what they sell, is not really food, or is not really good beverages.
Right.
It's just a chemical product that makes you want more and more. And that's why, especially when you're a kid, it's even the way they use the mobile.
Yeah,
Their kids, when they're growing up, they don't have controls. They don't know how to control themselves. They just know what they want.
exactly. Exactly.
And
Yeah.
and
Super
it and
sweet.
I just feel it's an abuse. I just feel, I felt very mad about the way, this big food company and these companies, they just want to make a profit. And I think it's an abuse to our society, abuse to the kids, our children, that we should be protecting and they should be protected, but they're not. So, this abuse is what made me decide to do something
Absolutely. Have you
about it.
envisioned this as perhaps animated film or something like that? I think Veggieman brought to life with the voice of Logan Crawford would be a wonderful, wonderful movie, don't you think?
Oh, I would love that. I would love that, Logan. It would be a dream
Yeah,
to see Veggieman and all the superheroes and all the characters in the screen. Yeah, it would be a
yeah,
dream.
yeah. It'd be
Right now we have
wonderful.
a website, we provide information, we're in Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah,
But yes, it would be a dream. And I think it would be very entertaining.
I think it'd be great. Yeah. I'm ready to do the voice of Veggieman right now. In fact, for the rest of the day, I'm going to talk like Veggieman. Eat your
I
vegetables.
love
Be
that,
strong.
Logan.
There we go. Okay, great. Schools need to get this message as well. There's a lot of junk food in school cafeterias, don't you think?
Is junk food everywhere in school cafeteria. And in fact, the book, it's in a school.
Yeah,
The story of the book happens in a school,
yeah,
in the hallways of the schools, in the classrooms, and this is where it happens. And it happens there because that is one of the main problems we're having, that in most of the schools, the only thing they can find is junk food.
yeah.
And, because unfortunately, eating wholesome foods, eating fruits or just real food is very expensive and
Hmm.
is very inconvenient.
Yeah,
So that's why it's very difficult for kids and parents to be feeding these foods to children. And that's why in most of the public schools, private schools, any schools, what you find is junk food.
yeah,
It's the convenience of the junk food.
exactly.
So it is a problem. It is very costly. It is a conversation, and
Hmm.
I'm sure you have read. And I think we're making some progress. I think there is movement to change, the way we feed our kids in the schools. So
What
hopefully I'm positive.
Yeah, I'm positive too. But what advice do you have for parents? I mean, it's tough. You've got a plate of broccoli over here, and you've got barbecued potato chips over here.
I know.
And it's so
Yeah.
hard. I mean, even I want the barbecued potato chips, but I know I have to eat the broccoli instead. So, what's your advice to
Can I
parents?
tell you, I always tell parents, it's not about being radical. It's not about saying you can never have that. Because even my own children, they eat everything, but it's about introducing more of the wholesome foods. It's
Mhm.
about exposing our children to consume some of these wholesome foods, instead of, as they're growing up, instead of only eating all these very chemical sweets,
Mhm.
why don't you give them some fruits? So as
Mhm.
they grow up, they actually get used to the good taste of natural foods. So it's not about, okay, they can never eat junk food. They will eat them,
Right.
you know, but just expose them and introduce them to the real foods and don't get tired. Unfortunately, you know, you put something on the table every day and maybe they don't like it, but keep on putting them,
Right.
keep on giving it to them until, because one day they will grab it.
Great
You
advice.
know?
Don't buy the junk food. So it's not in the house. So it's not a temptation. Don't buy the chips. Don't buy the candy. Don't buy the cookies. And don't say it's for a treat every now and then. When you're out, get a treat. When you're home, only have wholesome foods. That's my advice. I think it's good advice. And this book offers a wonderful introduction to children about the virtues of healthy eating. It is called The Adventures of Veggieman, Food Fight. It's written by a terrific author. Her name is Karla Farach, and she introduces young readers to the epic battle between good and evil, where healthy foods fight back against junk food villains. You will love this book. It's a great read. It is educational and it is fun, and it'll provoke a great conversation between you and the youngsters. Much needed. Karla, thank you so much for joining me here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, Logan, for having me.
It's my pleasure. Great to have you on the show. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.